Hello and welcome back to Cookie and the Haydens, and I'm Car Boot Chris. And guess what? It is almost the big move. It is currently Wednesday. We're moving on Monday, and I've still got my office to sort out. I've been trying to put it off and wait until the last minute, obviously, because I'm still listing. I'm still trying to sell and post, so I don't want to pack anything up just yet. But now I've pretty much got to start doing it. Time has caught up. Everything is currently listed, eBay and a few bits on Amazon. So I've got to sort it, I've got to pack it for the big move. It's going to take some doing. The first thing I'm going to do is to try and condense some of these boxes. So where there are only half-filled boxes, I'm going to try and make sure every box is filled. These ones, as you know, are not great. They crack very easy. I have plenty of the tote boxes. If you watched the 60-second tips video that I did recently, then you'll see that I've got a load more of these, so I'm going to utilize these as well. And I've got all this stuff in the middle that needs to go in tote boxes. Some stuff that needs boxing up there. I've also got to take tables, chairs. I've got my screen that's electric that I need to take that down. I've also got a couple of desks, all this junk, all my YouTube stuff, all this here, chair there, more stuff there, all packaging materials. Take all that with me. So I've got a lot to sort out, and the next day or so I want this done. And currently stacked up in our conservatory are all these boxed items. Some of it is for the house, probably half of that, if I zoom back a bit, probably half of that is unlisted stock. So that's what I've done with unlisted. I've got everything, labels on here. There you go, unlisted, unlisted. So probably, I think everything on that side that you can see is, all that is unlisted stock. So I'll work on that when I get down to Devon. Well, it's a couple of hours on. I've pretty much had enough of this. I know it's going to take a lot longer, but so far, let me turn around the camera. I've actually gone through all these. I've taken out some stuff that I'm no longer going to sell because I've had it too long, and I've condensed some boxes, filled some together where there was space, and I've freed up that amount of space by doing that, which is these boxes here. So that gives me some extra storage for all this. Anyway, I need to crack on. These are some of the black tote boxes that are coming in handy for stuff that might be breakable or damageable, like sort of boxed figures. So I'm using those at the minute for that kind of stuff. Good morning, and it's day 2 of packing up the office and the stock room. So as you can see, I'm making some progress here. Let's just switch this around. I've cleared through all one side of the shelving. This shelving's good because you can just unclip it all and pack it down, so I can just take that in my car when we move down there. So that's one side done. Now, because my eBay store is still active, I'm not shutting it down at any point. I'm just putting a longer dispatch on. I think I'm going to go for 3 or 5 day dispatch to give me a bit of time. But because of that, I am labeling every single box so that I know roughly where I can find stuff. Very, very roughly. So in this box you've got Daub's figures, Paul Frank figures and rock candy. This one just boxed general figures. This one is boxed Star Wars figures, and so on. So whilst everything's packed up, if sales come through, I can still find them. Right, so phase 1 is complete. All the stock is organised and boxed. The only thing I've got to do is my sort of office area, and then we're ready to go. I can still operate during this period because everything has labels on. So that's a good thing. I can still sell. I'm not listing as much, obviously, because a lot of me listed stuff is boxed up, but I have got one box aside so I can get a few listings done over the next couple of days. So if I just whiz around, you can see behind you, boom, all nicely organised. Tote boxes over there, crappy B&M boxes there with the lighter stuff in, and that's it. All the shelving's gone. It is ready to go. I've just got to do this bit here. That's the only bit I've got left to pack. Happy days. That's it, the office is empty, ready for its new owner, and we're almost ready to go. So we're here, we're in our house. I'm going to show you where all the stock is, or is going to be, when the van finally arrives, because I believe they've got a flat tyre, so not good. But anyway, let's show you. So this is the garage that is connected to the kitchen. There's an inside door and it comes out here. It's pretty dry. I don't see any real issues with damp or anything. It's got roller shutter doors, and there's a sloping driveway, which means obviously the rain shouldn't, if it was going to get really like flooded or whatever, it shouldn't come underneath the shutters, hopefully. But yeah, so this is the room. It's a fair size. It's roughly the same size as my previous stock room. So it is, or it should fit everything quite nicely with some space. And there's actually even a little bit of space on the beams here, albeit I wouldn't put anything, I wouldn't put anything that's too heavy up there. They've actually got some storage items already up there. But other than that, quite a nice space. And next time you see this, it should be done. So the business is pretty much set up. We moved in Monday night and it's now Wednesday evening, and I've transferred everything, I've sorted it out, it's ready to go. I've got a stack of orders to do from the last few days that I've not been able to tend to. So let's just have a quick look around. So this is the garage at the property, and other than the fridge that we've had to put in here, everything is the stock. So here's how I've organised it. I've got my clothing at this end. I've done that purposely just because if there's any kind of damp up here, I want the stuff that's going to be affected worst at this end, so the clothing would be probably the worst affected. I don't think there is any damp, but we'll see. And then I've got plush toys. It goes Disney, other, Build-A-Bear. Build-A-Bear has its own stack. And then I've got these super heavy duty boxes with different bits and pieces in. Figures and media and stuff. More figures. At the back end here, I've covered up the garage doors. I don't anticipate ever needing to open them very often. So here I've got bundles that are also bagged inside, so that should be okay. What I've done at the bottom here, I've put down some cardboard. I just want to see what happens with that, because that'll tell me if there is some damp coming in. Hopefully not. I think it's about as secure as a decent lockup, because it's got like a rubber bottom. You probably can't see it on that. Yeah, it's got like a rubber seal at the bottom of the doors, so hopefully it's a decent seal. So I've still got some storage space here. Over this side, I've got all my breakables. These won't be affected, you know, on the off chance that it is damp. They can just be wiped down if need be, but I don't anticipate there being any issues with those. Some more stock, I'll come back to that. Here we've got more bits and pieces, some more clothing at this end. Now this bit here is a bit of a death pile. These boxed items are unlisted stock, so still to go through. And if I go into the ceiling, I've got a few boxes up here that are unlisted stock, so that's all a nice bit of storage up there. So at some point we'll get those down. And that is it, that's my new storeroom. I won't be working in here. I've got my own little office upstairs, nice and warm. So why don't we go up and have a look? So before we actually get to the office, you'll notice here, I've got some storage space. And what we have here is a little bit more unlisted stock to go through. These are all just bits and pieces that little figures and loose items. But up here is all my packaging and boxes. Bubble wrap, eBay boxes and collected boxes. And if we go over here, that's my office. It's compact to say the least, but I've set it up, it's doable. So what we've got here is, over this side we've got my photograph area. Luckily the walls are white, so that's useful. I've got my laptop, the YouTube stuff, and this corner houses the mannequin, so I can do clothing photos there. Scales there, and under the desk, maximising the space, packaging materials, bags, poly bags, peanuts, and all that kind of stuff. So that's it, we're all set up and ready to go again. I'm going to go and pick some of the orders that I've taken in the last 2 or 3 days, get them sent out, and sort of get back on the wheel if you like. So we'll see you again soon, take care.